My phone lit up on the kitchen counter, buzzing like a warning. Rain streaked the windows of our Atlanta home, steady and cold. It was past midnight, the kids asleep, their soccer cleats by the door. I grabbed the phone expecting a work email or a PTA reminder. A text from Alexis glowed, "Miss you, babe. Tomorrow." My husband David's phone left carelessly betrayed him in one line. My heart slammed against my chest, a drum in the silence. The scent of leftover lasagna clung to the air, heavy. How could he do this to us, to our 12 years? I scrolled each message, a deeper wound, sharp and raw. "Hotel tonight," she wrote, bold, no shame. My hands shook, the cracked iPhone case rough under my fingers. I glanced at the fridge, our family photos smiling back. The kids' crayon drawings. David's grin, had it all been a lie? I wanted to storm upstairs, wake him, demand answers. But something stopped me, a cold resolve settling in. The rain tapped louder, urging me to think, to plan. Would I confront him now or dig for the truth? I saved the screenshot, my breath shaky, barely mine. The kitchen clock ticked, each second heavier than the last. You ever felt your world crack in a single moment? I stood there, the counter cold under my palms. His laptop sat in the study, passwords I knew by heart. Could I face what I'd find, or was ignorance safer? The kids' laughter from yesterday echoed in my mind. Soccer games, Target, runs our life worth fighting for. I gripped the phone, its glow burning my eyes. Where are you listening from, Atlanta like me, or somewhere else with your own story to tell? Would you fight back or walk away? Drop yes or no? The kitchen smelled of brewing coffee, warm and familiar. I stood by the counter slicing apples for the kids' lunches. Rain dripped outside, a soft patter against our Atlanta home. My SUV keys hung by the door next to soccer schedules. The fridge hummed, covered in crayon drawings and family photos. This was my life, built brick by brick with David. I'm Sarah, 38, a senior project manager downtown. My days started at 6, checking emails before the kids woke. Our suburban street buzzed with minivans and morning joggers. The kids, Emma and Liam, were 8 and 6, pure chaos. Emma's braces gleamed as she begged for extra screen time. Liam left goldfish crumbs everywhere, a trail of mischief. I packed their lunches, the knife steady in my hand. The iPhone buzzed a work alert, but my mind was elsewhere. Alexis's text from last night burned behind my eyes. I glanced at David's jacket slung over a chair. His cologne lingered, once comforting, now a stranger's scent. How had we gone from partners to this quiet betrayal? I drove to Starbucks, the line snaking around Peachtree Street. My pumpkin spice latte warmed my hands, grounding me. The barista's smile felt like a small, fleeting kindness. At the office, glass walls framed the Atlanta skyline gray today. The Keurig hissed, colleagues swapping weekend stories. I nodded, my smile a mask hiding the storm inside. My desk held a photo of us, David's arm around me. Our 10th anniversary, laughing under Savannah Oaks. That memory felt like a lie fraying at the edges. I opened my laptop, emails piling up, urgent and endless. A PTA group chat pinged, fundraiser plans, cupcake debates. Normalcy felt hollow, like a script I no longer believed. I thought of Mom Linda, her wisdom, my anchor. She'd say, "Trust your gut, Sarah, always." Her voice echoed from childhood, baking cookies, sharing secrets. I sipped my coffee, the cup's warmth fading fast. David's late nights, his vague excuses gnawed at me. Had I missed the signs or chosen not to see? I texted Jen, my colleague, my confidant for years. Coffee later, I typed, needing her steady presence. She replied instantly, usual spot 5. You okay? I wasn't, but I couldn't say it not yet. The office hummed, keyboards clacking, phones ringing. I stared at David's photo, his smile hiding so much. Back home, I stirred spaghetti sauce, the kids chattering nearby. Emma twirled her hair, talking about her science project. Liam flicked peas, giggling, oblivious to my weight. Daddy's late again, Emma said, her voice curious. I froze, the wooden spoon heavy in my hand. Yeah, work stuff, I mumbled, my throat tight. I set the table, plates clinking, routine holding me together. The kids' laughter filled the room bright and untouched, but my heart carried Alexis's text a splinter lodged deep. I tucked them in Emma's stuffed bear, soft under my fingers. Liam's nightlight glowed, casting stars on the ceiling, their breath steadied, safe in a world I'd built. Downstairs, I poured wine, the glass cool against my palm. The living room was quiet, rain tapping the windows. Our wedding album sat on the shelf, edges worn. I opened it, photos of us, young, reckless, in love. David's vows, forever, Sarah echoed in my mind. We danced under string lights, certain nothing could break us. That night in Savannah, his hand warm in mine. We'd planned kids a house, a life of shared dreams. Now those dreams felt like shadows slipping away. I closed the album, dust motes dancing in the lamplight. The rain slowed, leaving a hush too heavy to bear. You ever look at someone and wonder who they became? I checked my phone, no text from David, just silence. His laptop glowed in the study, tempting, dangerous. I knew his password, hadn't used it in years. I walked to the study, my slippers soft on the hardwood. The door creaked, the room smelling of old books. His MacBook sat there, a vault of secrets. I hesitated, fingers brushing the cold metal lid. What would I find? More texts, emails, proof. My pulse raced, a warning I couldn't ignore. I opened it, the screen flickering to life, bright. His email was logged in, a mistaken invitation. One new message from Alexis, time-stamped an hour ago. Meet me at the usual, it read, no hesitation. The words hit like a slap, sharp and unforgiving. I stared at the screen, the cursor blinking, relentless. The house was still, but my world was unraveling. The rain hadn't stopped, a gray curtain over Atlanta. I stood in the study, David's laptop screen glaring back. Alexis's email, meet me at the usual, burned my eyes. My fingers hovered, heart pounding like a trapped bird. The house was silent, kids asleep, clocks ticking softly. I clicked the email, each word a fresh stab. Same hotel, 8 p.m., she wrote, casual, shameless. A receipt was attached, the Westin, last Friday night. David had said he was at a client dinner. I leaned back, the chair creaking under my weight. The scent of old books filled the room, heavy. How many lies had I swallowed, blind and trusting? I scrolled his inbox, emails piling up, ordinary, deceptive. One from Alexis, weeks old, caught my eye. Missed you at the conference, with a winking emoji. My throat tightened, a knot I couldn't undo. The kids' nightlight glowed faintly down the hall. Could I keep this from them, protect their world? I grabbed my phone, texting Mom, my fingers shaking. Need to talk, something's wrong with David. Her reply was instant, call me Sarah, now. I dialed her voice, warm, steady like always. Mom, I found text, emails. He's cheating. The words spilled out, raw, tearing me apart. Oh, honey, she said, soft but firm. You're stronger than this. What's your next step? I clutched the phone, her words anchoring me. The rain tapped the window, a relentless rhythm. I didn't know my next step, not yet. Would you have called someone or faced it alone? Morning came, the kitchen bright with sunlight. I poured coffee, the Keurig hissing, grounding me. David shuffled in, tie loose, eyes avoiding mine. Morning, he said, grabbing a mug, voice flat. Morning, I replied, my smile tight forced. His cologne stung, the same scent from her texts. You sleep okay? I asked, stirring my coffee. Yeah, fine, he mumbled, checking his phone. I watched his fingers, quick, hiding something. I wanted to scream, to shatter the silence. But I sipped my coffee, the mug warm, steadying. How do you talk to someone you no longer know? I drove to work, the SUV rattling with kids' toys. Goldfish crumbs crunched under my feet, familiar. The radio played, but Alexis's words drowned it out. At the office, Atlanta's skyline loomed cold and sharp. My desk held our anniversary photo, now a mockery. I opened my laptop, pretending to focus, unraveling inside. Jen stopped by, her smile warm, eyes searching. You look off, Sarah, spill it. I hesitated, the hum of the office swallowing my words. I found something. David's not who I thought. My voice cracked, barely a whisper, raw. Jen's hand touched mine, steady like a lifeline. God, Sarah, that's awful. What now? I don't know, I said, staring at my screen. The weight of her question pressed against me. I checked David's jacket at lunch, left on my chair. My fingers brushed the fabric, soft, deceptive. A folded receipt slipped out, the Weston, same date. My breath caught the paper, trembling in my hand. The office chatter faded, a distant hum. He'd lied to my face again and again. I drove to Starbucks, needing air, needing clarity. The line was long, the scent of coffee strong. My latte's warmth couldn't touch the cold inside. I sat in my car, rain starting again, soft. The receipt sat in my purse, proof undeniable. Should I confront him or keep gathering evidence? I thought of Emma, her braces flashing when she smiled. Liam's giggle, his sticky fingers grabbing mine. This wasn't just about me, it was their world too. I opened my phone, saving the receipt's photo. Each click felt heavier, a step toward something. You ever held proof that could break everything? I drove home, the soccer field lights glowing faintly. The kids' cleats clattered in the back, grounding me. David's car was gone, another late meeting. I walked inside the kitchen, smelling of last night's dinner. The fridge hummed, family photos staring back. I couldn't keep pretending not anymore. I grabbed his laptop again, my hands steadier now. His calendar was open, a meeting marked tonight. Client dinner, it said, but I knew better. I searched the Weston's address, my pulse racing. It was 10 minutes away, too close, too real. Could I go there, seize them, make it real? I stood in the living room, rain loud outside. The kids' toys were scattered, a life worth saving. I slipped the laptop shut, my decision forming. I texted Jen, I'm doing something crazy, cover me. She replied, be careful, Sarah, I'm here. Her words felt like armor, small but strong. I grabbed my keys, the metal cold in my palm. The rain soaked my coat as I stepped outside. I drove toward the Weston, heart hammering, unstoppable. The city lights blurred, rain streaking my windshield. The Weston's neon sign glowed through the rain-soaked night. My SUV idled in the hotel lot, wipers thumping steadily. Atlanta's skyline loomed distant, blurred by my racing thoughts. I gripped the steering wheel, knuckles, white heart hammering. The receipt from David's jacket burned in my purse. Had he walked through those glass doors with her? I scanned the lot, searching for his black sedan. Nothing, just strangers' cars slick with rain. My phone stayed dark, no texts, no excuses. The air inside felt thick, heavy with coffee's faint scent. I checked my watch, 8:30, too late to turn back. Would you have stayed or driven away? I stepped out, rain chilling my skin, soaking my coat. The hotel lobby gleamed, all marble and soft jazz. I lingered by the bar, eyes darting, feeling exposed. No David, no Alexis, just couples laughing carefree. My chest tightened, relief and dread twisting together. Had I missed them, or was I chasing shadows? Back home, the kitchen was quiet, dishes still unwashed. The kids' soccer schedules hung by the fridge, normalcy mocking me. I poured wine, the glass cold, my hands unsteady. David's laptop sat in the study, a silent challenge. I opened it, his email still logged in, careless. My fingers typed Alexis, heart pounding, searching deeper. A new email loaded, sent yesterday, no subject. Need to talk. She's acting weird, Alexis wrote. My breath caught. She meant me, I was she. I leaned back, the chair creaking, rain tapping outside. The house felt smaller, walls closing in tight. They were worried, sensing my quiet rage. Morning came, sunlight slicing through the blinds. I stirred oatmeal, the kids chattering about school. Emma twirled her hair. Liam flicked cereal, oblivious. David rushed in, tie crooked, grabbing his coffee. Big day, I asked, voice even masking my storm. Just meetings, he said, eyes flicking to his phone. I watched him, his fingers quick, hiding secrets. Hope they go well, I said, stirring slowly. His nod was curt, my smile a brittle lie. I wanted to grab his phone, demand the truth. But I turned back to the stove, oats bubbling softly. How do you love someone you're learning to hate? I drove to work. Goldfish crumbs crunching underfoot. The SUV smelled of wet dog and kids' sneakers. Atlanta's traffic crawled my thoughts racing faster. At the office, the Keurig hissed colleagues buzzing nearby. My desk photo, David and me, felt like a taunt. I opened my laptop, emails blurring, focus gone. Jen slid into my chair, her coffee steaming. "You're scaring me, Sarah. Talk to me." I stared at my screen, the weight crushing me. "He's cheating, Jen." I saw more emails. My voice was low, trembling, barely mine. She squeezed my arm, her eyes soft, steady. "You're sure? What's your plan?" she asked. "I don't know," I admitted, throat tight. Her question hung heavy as the rain outside. I checked David's jacket again, left in my car. My fingers brushed a crumpled note, unfamiliar handwriting. "Weston, 8 p.m., don't be late," it read. My pulse spiked, the paper trembling in my hand. The office hum faded, a dull, distant roar. Another meeting, another lie so close to home. I drove to Target at lunch, needing routine normalcy. The aisles were bright, packed with carts and chatter. I grabbed diapers, cereal, my hands moving on autopilot. In the parking lot, I sat, rain starting again. The note sat in my purse next to the receipt. Could I keep playing this game, staying silent? I thought of Liam, his giggle lighting up mornings. Emma's science fair, her proud smile so fragile. This wasn't just my fight, it was theirs too. Back home, I chopped vegetables for dinner, knife steady. The kitchen smelled of garlic, warm, comforting. The kids' laughter echoed from the living room. I opened my phone, saving the note's photo. Each click felt heavier, a step toward confrontation. "You ever held proof that changed everything?" I tucked the kids in Emma's bear soft under my hand. Liam's nightlight cast stars, gentle, unwavering. Their world felt sacred, worth every risk. Downstairs, I stood by the window, rain relentless. The fridge hummed, family photos staring back. David's car pulled in, headlights cutting the dark. He walked in, shaking off his wet coat. "Long day," he said, voice tired, eyes guarded. I nodded, my heart a stone, unmoving. I slipped into the study, his laptop still there. His calendar pinged a new entry, tomorrow night. "Client drinks," it said, but I knew better. I searched his email again, my hands steady now. A thread with Alexis buried, marked urgent. "We need to stop. She's too close," he wrote. My breath stopped, the screen glowing, accusing. The rain roared outside, matching my fury. They knew I was watching, and they were scared. I saved the email, the cursor blinking, relentless. The house was still, but my resolve was alive. I closed the laptop, my decision sharpening. Tomorrow I'd act, no more waiting, no more lies. The morning sun cut through the Atlanta mist, sharp and unforgiving. I stood in the kitchen, stirring oatmeal, the spoon heavy in my hand. The kids' laughter echoed, Emma and Liam chasing each other upstairs. David's email from last night gnawed at me, relentless. "We need to stop. She's too close," he'd written to Alexis. My heart pounded, a drumbeat of rage and fear. I poured coffee, the Keurig's hiss, a familiar comfort. The fridge hummed, family photos staring back, mocking me. How could I keep pretending, knowing what I knew? I drove the kids to school, their backpacks thumping in the SUV. Goldfish crumbs crunched under my feet, grounding me. The radio blared, but his words drowned it out. At the office, Atlanta's skyline loomed gray and cold. My desk held our anniversary photo, a lie in a frame. I opened my laptop, emails piling up, ignored. I checked David's calendar, still logged in, careless. A new entry, drinks 7 p.m. the Weston. My breath caught the same hotel, another betrayal. I searched his email, my fingers steady driven. A thread with Alexis buried deep, loaded slowly. "Meet me in the suite," she wrote, bold, unapologetic. My stomach twisted, the screen glowing, accusing. The office chatter faded, a distant, meaningless hum. They thought they could hide, but I was watching. I grabbed my phone, texting Jen, my hands shaking. "Found more. He's meeting her tonight. Help." Her reply was instant. "Come to my desk, now." I walked to her cubicle, the carpet muffling my steps. Jen's coffee steamed, her eyes soft, searching. "Sarah, you're scaring me. What's the plan?" I can't keep this quiet, I said, voice low. My throat tightened, tears threatening held back. She nodded, her hand warm on mine, steady. You're not alone, she said, firm, unwavering. But think about the kids, your job, everything. Her words hit hard, a warning I couldn't ignore. I sat back at my desk, the air heavy, stifling. The scent of copier toner clung to the room. Could I risk our life for the truth? I drove to Target at lunch, needing routine escape. The aisles were bright, carts, clattering, voices buzzing. I grabbed cereal diapers, my hands moving mechanically. In the parking lot, rain started, soft, persistent. I sat in the SUV, the note from David's jacket in my purse. Its words, Weston 8 p.m., haunted me still. I thought of Emma, her science fair coming up. Liam's giggle, his sticky fingers grabbing mine. This wasn't just my fight, it was their future. Back home, I chopped carrots for dinner, knife steady. The kitchen smelled of garlic, warm, familiar. The kids' artwork covered the fridge, crayon smiles. I opened my phone, saving the email screenshot. Each click felt heavier, a step toward something irreversible. You ever felt trapped by the truth you hold? I tucked the kids in Emma's bear, soft under my fingers. Liam's nightlight cast stars, gentle, unwavering. Their breaths were steady, a world worth protecting. Downstairs, I stood by the window, rain tapping softly. David's car was gone, another client meeting. The house felt empty, a shell of our past. I slipped into the study, his laptop still there. His email was open, a new message from Alexis. I booked the suite. Don't keep me waiting. My pulse spiked, the words slicing through me. The rain roared outside, matching my fury. They were planning fearless while I unraveled. I checked his jacket again, left on the couch. My fingers brushed a keycard, the Weston's logo gleaming. It slipped into my hand, cold, undeniable proof. My breath stopped, the room spinning, too real. The keycard's weight anchored me, a dangerous promise. Could I use it, confront them, end this? I sat on the couch, the keycard in my palm. The living room was quiet, rain the only sound. I thought of Mom, her voice steady, guiding me. You're stronger than this, she'd said, her words clear. But strength meant risking everything, kids' job, home. Was I ready to burn it all down? I drove to the school, picking up the kids. Their chatter filled the SUV, bright, untouched. The keycard sat in my purse, a ticking bomb. At the park, I watched them play, swings creaking. The air smelled of wet grass, fresh, alive. I gripped my coffee, the cup's warmth fading. I opened my phone, the email screenshot staring back. The keycard's edge pressed against my thigh. I couldn't keep hiding, not anymore. I decided then, my resolve hardening, unyielding. I'd go to the Weston tonight, see it myself. The truth was close, and I wouldn't run. I stood by the swings, rain misting my face. The kids laughed, their joy a fragile shield. I drove home, the keycard heavy, my plan set. The city lights blurred, rain streaking the windshield. The Weston's keycard sat in my purse, heavy as a secret. Rain streaked the Atlanta night, a relentless drum on my SUV. I parked across from the hotel, its neon sign glowing, accusing. My hands trembled, gripping the wheel, heart racing wild. The air smelled of wet asphalt, sharp and cold. Was I really doing this, crossing this line? I scanned the lot, David's sedan, nowhere in sight. The hotel doors gleamed, inviting, dangerous, taunting me. My phone stayed dark, no texts, no lies. I stepped out, rain soaking my coat, chilling my skin. The lobby buzzed, soft jazz mingling with laughter. I lingered by the elevators, eyes darting, pulse pounding. A couple passed, her floral perfume sharp, like Alexis's. My stomach twisted, memories of her emails flooding back. Could I face them, make their betrayal real? Back home, the kitchen was still, dishes piled high. The fridge hummed, kids' drawings, a fragile anchor. I poured coffee, the mug warm, steadying my hands. David's laptop glowed in the study, a silent dare. I opened it, his email still logged in, reckless. A new message from Alexis, time-stamped an hour ago. Suite 412 waiting, she wrote, bold, no shame. My breath caught the words slicing through me. They were there now, in that room together. I saved the email, my fingers steady, driven by fury. The rain tapped the window, a rhythm of resolve. You ever felt a truth you couldn't unsee? Morning came, sunlight weak through the clouds. I scrambled eggs, the kids chattering about school. Emma begged for new sneakers, Liam flicked toast crumbs. David rushed in, tie loose eyes avoiding mine. Busy day, I asked, voice calm, a practice lie. Just the usual, he said, grabbing his coffee. I watched his hands quick, hiding his phone. Hope it goes well, I said, stirring eggs slowly. His nod was brief, my smile a brittle mask. I wanted to scream, to shatter his calm facade. But I turned to the stove, the pan sizzling softly. How do you face someone who's broken your world? I drove to Starbucks, the line long familiar. My latte's warmth couldn't touch the cold inside. The barista's smile felt distant, a world away. At the office, Atlanta's skyline loomed gray, unyielding. My desk photo, David and me, mocked me silently. I opened my laptop, emails blurring, focus gone. I checked his calendar, a new entry team meeting. The quarterly presentation, my chance, my stage. A plan formed, sharp, dangerous, taking shape. I texted Mom, my hands steady, words deliberate. I'm doing something big, need your strength. Her reply was swift. You're enough, Sarah, be careful. I called her voice warm, steady, my rock. Mom, I'm exposing them at work publicly. My voice shook, the weight of it sinking in. Oh, honey, she said, soft but firm. That's a big step. What about the fallout? Her warning lingered, but my resolve held firm. The office hum surrounded me, keyboards clacking, phone ringing. The scent of copier toner clung to the air. Could I risk my job, my kids' stability? Everything. I drove to the school, picking up the kids. Their chatter filled the SUV, bright untouched. The keycard sat in my purse, a ticking bomb. At the park, I watched them play swings creaking. The air smelled of wet grass, fresh grounding. I gripped my coffee, the cup's warmth fading. I opened my phone, the email screenshot staring back. Suite 412, their secret, now mine to wield. I couldn't keep hiding, not anymore. Back home, I chopped onions for dinner, tears stinging. The kitchen smelled of garlic, warm, familiar. The kids' laughter echoed, a life worth fighting for. I slipped into the study, the laptop still open. I copied every email, every text to a USB. The drive was cold in my palm, heavy with truth. I tested the office projector in my mind, imagining it. The screen lighting up their lies exposed undeniable. My pulse raced, the plan sharpening, unyielding. I stood by the sink, dishes soaking, rain relentless. The fridge hummed, family photos, a fading dream. David's car pulled in, headlights cutting the dark. He walked in, shaking off his wet coat. Rough day, he said, voice tired, eyes guarded. I nodded, my heart a stone unmoving. I tucked the kids in Emma's bear, soft under my hand. Liam's nightlight cast stars, gentle, unwavering. Their breaths were steady, a world I'd protect. I sat on the couch, the USB in my pocket. The living room was quiet, rain the only sound. I thought of Jen, her warning, her support. I texted her, it's happening, quarterly meeting. She replied, I've got your back, stay strong. Her words felt like armor, small but vital. I opened my phone, the keycard photo glowing. Suite 412, their betrayal, my weapon now. I'd show them, show everyone the truth. I stood by the window, rain misting the glass. The city lights blurred, Atlanta alive, unforgiving. I was ready, no turning back, no fear. I walked to the study, the USB in my hand. I rehearsed my speech, voice steady, words clear. The projector would light up, and they'd fall. I closed my eyes, the rain a steady drum. The kids' laughter, Mom's voice, Jen's support, they carried me. The USB drive sat in my purse, cold and heavy. Rain pattered against the Atlanta morning, soft but relentless. I stood in the kitchen, stirring coffee, the Keurig hissing quietly. Tomorrow was the quarterly meeting, my moment, my truth. The kids' crayon drawings on the fridge stared back. Their smiles, Emma's braces. Liam's mischief anchored me. David's email. "We need to stop," echoed in my mind. Alexis's reply, Suite 412, waiting, fueled my resolve. No more doubts, no more hiding, I was ready. I packed the kids' lunches, apple slice, steady hands. Their backpacks thumped by the door, soccer cleats tangled. The house smelled of oatmeal, warm of fleeting comfort. I drove to Starbucks, the line snaking down Peachtree Street. My latte's warmth steadied me, pumpkin spice grounding. The barista's nod felt like a small, silent ally. At the office, Atlanta's skyline loomed sharp through glass. My desk photo, David and me, felt like a ghost. I opened my laptop emails, ignored focus, razor sharp. I tested the USB emails and texts loading perfectly. The projector would show them clear, undeniable. My pulse raced, the plan solid, no cracks. I texted Jen, my fingers steady, words deliberate. "It's tomorrow. Projector's ready. I'm doing this." Her reply was swift. "You're brave, Sarah. I'm here." I called her, needing her voice, her strength. "Jen, I'm exposing them, no turning back." My voice was firm, the weight lifting slightly. "God, Sarah," she said, her tone mixed, worried. "You sure this could cost you everything?" Her caution stung, but my path was set. The office buzzed, colleagues laughing unaware. The scent of fresh coffee clung to the air. Could I risk my job, my kids' world for justice? I drove to the park at lunch, needing air clarity. Swings creaked, kids shouting, the air crisp, alive. I gripped my coffee, the cup's warmth fading fast. I thought of Mom, her words a steady guide. "Truth sets you free," she'd said, baking cookies. Her kitchen flour dusted, felt like a lifetime ago. I opened my phone, the keycard photo glowing. Suite 412, their betrayal now my weapon. I'd wield it tomorrow, no mercy, no regret. Back home, I chopped garlic for dinner, knife steady. The kitchen smelled warm, the kids' laughter echoing. Emma twirled her hair, Liam flicked peas, giggling. David walked in, tie loose eyes distant. "Big day tomorrow," I asked, voice calm, practice. "Just meetings," he said, grabbing a beer. I watched his hands, quick hiding his phone. "Hope it's productive," I said, stirring sauce slowly. His nod was curt, my smile a fragile mask. I wanted to confront him, to shatter his lies. But I turned to the stove, the pot simmering softly. "How do you face a stranger in your husband's skin?" I tucked the kids in Emma's bare, soft familiar. Liam's nightlight cast stars, gentle, unwavering. Their breath steadied a world I'd fight for. Downstairs, I stood by the window, rain slowing. The fridge hummed family photos, a fading dream. The USB in my purse felt like a vow. I slipped into the study, David's laptop still open. I checked his email one last time, just in case. A new message from Alexis sent an hour ago. "Tomorrow's risky. She's watching us," she wrote. My breath caught, fury and triumph colliding. They knew I was close, and they were scared. I saved the email, the USB now complete. The screen glowed, my evidence a blazing truth. "You ever held power that could change everything?" I rehearsed my speech, voice low, words clear. The projector would light up, their secrets exposed. The meeting room packed would see it all. I drove to Target, needing routine grounding. The aisles were bright, carts, clattering, voices buzzing. I grabbed cereal diapers, my hand steady, sure. In the parking lot, rain misted my face. The USB sat in my purse, a promise, a weapon. Tomorrow, I'd stand tall, no more shadows. I thought of Emma, her science fair dreams. Liam's giggle, his sticky fingers grabbing mine. This was for them, for me, for truth. Back at the office, I tested the projector alone. The screen flickered, emails loading, stark, undeniable. The hum filled the room, my heart steady. I stood in the empty conference room, lights dim. The skyline sparkled, Atlanta alive, waiting. I was ready, my plan locked, no doubts. I drove home, the kids' chatter filling the SUV. Goldfish crumbs crunched, their laughter a shield. The USB's weight in my purse was my strength. I chopped vegetables for dinner, the knife sure. The kitchen smelled of onions, warm, grounding. The kids' artwork on the fridge held me steady. David sat at the table, scrolling his phone. Everything okay? I asked, voice light deceptive. Yeah, fine, he said, eyes flicking away. I smiled, stirring the pot, my secret burning. Tomorrow, he'd see they'd both see everything. The rain outside slowed a calm before my storm. I tucked the kids in their breaths soft, peaceful. Emma's bear, Liam's stars, a world worth saving. I kissed their foreheads, my resolve unbreakable. I stood by the window, the city lights faint. The USB in my hand was cold, final ready. The conference room buzzed, Atlanta's skyline glinting through glass. I stood at the front, USB in my pocket, heart pounding. The projector hummed, its light cold, ready to burn. Colleagues filled the seats, laptops, open coffee cups steaming. David sat near the back, scrolling his phone, oblivious. Alexis chatted with a teammate, her laugh sharp, grating. The air smelled of toner and fresh donuts, deceptively normal. My hands trembled, but my voice was steady, practiced. This was it, my truth, their reckoning now. I clicked the remote, the screen flickering to life. Good morning, I said, my smile tight, deliberate. The room quieted, eyes on me expectant. I glanced at Jen, her nod subtle, anchoring me. The USB felt heavy, a vow I'd made. You ever stood on this edge of everything? I opened my presentation charts and numbers first. The room nodded along, pen scratching routine. My pulse raced, each slide bringing me closer. Then I paused, the remote cool in my hand. I have one more update, I said, voice clear. The projector shifted, emails loading, stark, undeniable. David's text glowed, we need to stop. Alexis's reply, Suite 412 waiting. Gasps rippled through the room, chairs creaking. David's head snapped up, his face draining white. Alexis froze, her coffee cup slipping, splashing. The room turned, whispers rising, a growing storm. I clicked again, the Weston receipt filling the screen. Last Friday, I said, my voice steady cutting. My husband and his mistress, while I trusted him. The air thickened, the hum of the projector deafening. Colleagues stared, some shocked, others whispering, judging. Jen gripped her pen, her eyes locked on me. David stood his chair, scraping, voice low. Sarah, stop this. You're making a mistake. I met his gaze, my heart a stone, unmoving. A mistake, I said, my voice sharp, unyielding. You made that choice in Suite 412. He sank back, silenced the room, swallowing him. Alexis bolted upright, her face flushed, trembling. That's not true, she stammered, voice breaking. But the screen didn't lie, and neither did I. HR's manager, Karen, stood, her notepad forgotten. Sarah, we need to discuss this privately, she said. I nodded, but the truth was out, unstoppable. The room erupted, voices overlapping, chaos unfolding. Some colleagues glared at David, others at me. The scent of spilled coffee stung the air. I clicked the remote, one last email glowing. Tomorrow's risky, she's watching, Alexis had written. The final nail, their fear, my victory. I stood tall, the projector's light warm on my face. This is my truth, I said, voice steady. The room fell silent, heavy, charged with judgment. David's eyes met mine, hollow, defeated. Alexis grabbed her bag, fleeing, heels clicking fast. Colleagues whispered, phones buzzing, news spreading. Karen approached, her voice low, procedural. Sarah will need a meeting. This is serious. I nodded, my resolve unshaken, my truth free. Jen slipped beside me, her hand on my arm. You did it, she whispered, voice thick, proud. I squeezed her hand, my anchor in the storm. The meeting dissolved, colleagues filing out, murmuring. Some avoided my eyes, others offered nods, conflicted. The projector dimmed, its hum fading, spent. I stood alone, the room empty, skyline sparkling. Rain tapped the windows, a soft, steady rhythm. Had I gone too far, or just far enough, I grabbed my purse, the USB light in my pocket. The office felt different, a battlefield I'd won. But what came next, I couldn't yet see. I drove home, the SUV rattling with kids' toys. Goldfish crumbs crunched, their chatter a distant echo. The city blurred, rain streaking my windshield. The kitchen was quiet, dishes piled untouched. The fridge hummed, kids' drawings, a fragile tether. I poured wine, the glass cool, my hand steady. I thought of Emma, her science fair dreams. Liam's giggle, his sticky fingers grabbing mine. This was for them, for me, for truth. I checked my phone text from Jen Mom. "You're strong," Mom wrote, her words a balm. I smiled, the weight lifting just a little. David's car was gone, his absence loud. The house felt lighter, the air easier to breathe. But the fallout was coming, I knew it. I stood by the window, rain slowing faint. The kids' nightlight glowed upstairs, stars dancing. I'd shattered our world, but I'd built my own. I opened my laptop, emails flooding and urgent. Colleagues taking sides, some supportive, others cold. The truth had sparked a fire unstoppable now. I thought of Mom, her kitchen, her wisdom. "Truth sets you free," she'd said, flour-dusted hands. I was free, but the cost was still unfolding. I sat on the couch, the room quiet, still. The city lights flickered, Atlanta alive, judging. The Atlanta spring bloom, sunlight warming the morning air. I stood in my new office, the desk clean mine. The skyline sparkled through the window, a fresh start. 3 months had passed since the projector lit up. David's lies. Alexis's texts exposed for all to see. My heart still ached, but I was healing slowly. The kids' drawings hung on my wall, crayon smiles. Emma's science fair ribbon sat proudly, Liam's too. Their laughter filled our home, a tether to hope. I sipped coffee, the mug warm, a new routine. The scent of fresh paint lingered, my space, reborn. I'd negotiated a promotion, fought for my worth. David was gone, his sedan no longer in the driveway. He'd moved out, shunned by colleagues, disgraced. The divorce papers sat, signed, a quiet victory. Alexis had left town, her LinkedIn profile dark. Whispers followed her, a shadow she couldn't shake. I didn't hate her, she'd lost more than I had. I drove to Starbucks, the line shorter, familiar. My latte's pumpkin spice warmed me, grounding. The barista's smile felt like a nod to resilience. At home, the kitchen smelled of baking muffins, warm. The fridge hummed new photos, replacing the old. Emma and Liam laughing, their joy my anchor. I opened my laptop, emails from colleagues supportive now. The fallout had split opinions, some cold, others kind. I'd chosen truth, and that was enough. I thought of Mom, her wisdom, my guiding star. "Truth sets you free," she'd said, flour-dusted hands. Her kitchen, her voice carried me through. I called her, needing her strength, her warmth. "Mom, I made it. I'm okay," I said. My voice was steady, the weight finally lighter. "You're more than okay," she said, proud, firm. "You showed them, Sarah, and yourself, your strength." Her words wrapped around me, a soft embrace. The park was alive, swings creaking, kids shouting. I watched Emma and Liam play, their energy boundless. The air smelled of cut grass, fresh, renewing. I gripped my coffee, the cup's warmth, a comfort. The kids' laughter reminded me why I'd fought. For them, for me, for a life reclaimed. I spoke at a women's leadership event last week. The room was full, faces, eager, stories shared. I told mine raw, the projector's light still vivid. Hands clapped, some eyes teary, others fierce. A woman approached after, her story like mine. I listened, nodded, my heart open, connected. I mentor now young women at the firm. Their dreams, their fears echo my own past. I guide them, my legacy, small but growing. Jen met me at Starbucks, her coffee steaming. "You're different," she said, her smile warm, knowing. I laughed, the sound lighter, freer than before. I drove to Target, the aisles bright, familiar. Carts clattered, voices buzzed, life moving forward. I grabbed cereal, diapers, my hands sure steady. The SUV rattled with kids' toys, goldfish crumbs. Their chatter filled the air, a song of resilience. I smiled, the road ahead, clearer mind to shape. Back home, I tucked the kids in Emma's bare soft. Liam's nightlight cast stars, gentle, unwavering. Their breaths were steady, a world I'd rebuilt. I stood by the window, the city lights faint. The rain had stopped, Atlanta quiet, at peace. I was whole, not broken, stronger than before. I opened my phone, a new email from HR. A leadership role, bigger, a chance to soar. The future beckoned, and I was ready. I thought of that night, the USB in my hand. The projector's hum, the room's gasps, my truth. I chosen myself, and it changed everything. I sat on the couch, the house still calm. The kids' artwork glowed under soft lamplight. I'd built a legacy not just for me. You ever faced a betrayal that reshaped you? I did, and it taught me my own strength. Where are you right now rebuilding your world? I closed my laptop, the screen fading done. Tomorrow, I'd speak again, share my story. Have you ever rebuilt after betrayal? Drop yes or no. The Atlanta sunset painted my kitchen, gold muffins cooling on the counter. Healing means choosing myself, reclaiming my voice, my dignity. If you've ever found strength after betrayal, share your story below. You are not alone. Every ending can be a new beginning.